how to increase your value to women. Hey, if you're new here, I'm Anna and welcome to the channel. Did you know that according to psychologists, women find men who aren't always available even more attractive? Yep, you heard that right. It's called the scarcity principle, and it's all about how we humans value what's less available to us. Fascinating, right? Well, if you found yourself scratching your head wondering how you can navigate this tantalizing balance between availability and scarcity, then you're in the right place. In this guide, we are going to take a deep dive into what it means to be not too available, why it's so darn attractive, and most importantly, how you can master it. We've got a treasure trove of 15 sparkling tips that'll help you become more comfortable with being less available without losing your authenticity or turning into a game player. So buckle up, gents, it's time to set off on this exciting journey and explore a whole new side of attractiveness you never knew existed. And if you're new here though, please press that red button to subscribe to the channel and comment I've subscribed so I can thank you. Now then, well, let's get started, shall we? Time, the luxury you own. Our journey begins with a crucial reality check, valuing your time. Think of it this way, time is the priceless currency of your life. Would you casually toss around a bag of diamonds? Not likely, right? The same should apply to your time. There's a well-known principle that psychologists often cite. When something is ever present, its value can diminish in the eyes of others. Sounds unfair, but it's a human tendency. So how do we flip the script on this? Start with establishing clear boundaries. Announce your availability and your downtime and stick to them like your favorite band's concert dates. I know it sounds tricky, especially if you are the always on call kind of person. But here's a promise from me to you, it's transformative. Experts agree that setting boundaries can earn you respect and helps others perceive your time as precious. Now here's a mantra for you. My time is my luxury and I decide how I spend it. Say it, soak it in, and let it guide your actions, because trust me, it's your first big leap towards being assertively available rather than always being too available. The art of prioritizing yourself. Ready for tip number 2? It's all about putting yourself first. Ever noticed how we often end up becoming everyone's go-to person, leaving our own needs stranded on the back burner? Now don't get me wrong, I'm not advocating for selfishness, but self-care. Think about it this way, you are on a flight, there's a sudden drop in cabin pressure and oxygen masks are released. What's the first rule? Exactly, put on your mask before helping others. Psychologists suggest the same principle applies in life. We can't truly help others until we've helped ourselves. So let's start treating self-care as a non-negotiable. This could mean diving into that book that's been sitting on your shelf, indulging in some me time, or finally getting to that hobby you've been eager to pick up. Always remember, prioritizing yourself isn't selfish, it's essential. Crafting your individual universe. Our third piece of wisdom is about cultivating a vibrant life outside your relationships. Here's a question. What's something you are passionate about? Something that lights you up and isn't dependent on anyone else? It's time to give that the stage. When you fill your life with unique interests, maintain friendships that energize you, and chase your own personal goals, you are naturally less available, but in a good way. Not only are you living a life that thrills you, but experts say that it also makes you more attractive because it shows you are a complete individual on your own. So grab that guitar, kick that soccer ball, or draft that business plan. Cultivate a life that exhilarates you, and you will naturally embrace the right balance of availability. Mastering the power of no. Our fourth golden nugget is simple yet transformative. Learn to say no. Sure, sounds easy, but how often do we say yes when our hearts scream no, just to avoid disappointing others or being perceived as rude? It's time to flip that switch. Embracing no as a positive expression is a powerful strategy for protecting your time and energy. It's not about being dismissive, it's about maintaining healthy boundaries. Remember, you can't be everyone's superhero, and that's okay. Next time you are swamped and someone asks for a favor, gracefully decline. It might feel foreign initially, but trust me, it gets easier with practice. Each time you say yes to something you'd rather not do, you are saying no to an activity you could genuinely enjoy or need. So begin exercising those no muscles and witness the revolution it brings in your life. The art of holding your ground. Have you ever considered the power of not dropping everything at someone else's whim? It's an easy trap to fall into, especially when it's someone who quickens your pulse. But giving into the impulse of cancelling all your plans for them sends an undesirable message that your life is an empty theatre awaiting their performance. Experts caution that it also heaps unneeded stress on your relationship as it morphs into your life's nucleus. Instead, communicate your enthusiasm to meet, but suggest an alternative time that complements your schedule. Upholding your personal commitments not only reflects self-respect, but also, psychologists suggest, boosts your appeal. You're not merely an actor on standby for their show. Embrace the slow lane. Moving on to the 6th tip, how about we slow things down? When Cupid's arrow strikes, we tend to want to spend every conceivable moment with that special someone, but hey, who says good things can't come to those who wait? Rushing can often stifle a relationship, while a more measured pace allows for a solid foundation, a deeper understanding, and preserved independence. Plus, it's a surefire way to prevent becoming overly available. You're not racing to spend every second together, so savor the journey of getting to know one another. Remember, the best things in life are worth the wait. The power of pause responses. Our 7th tip might make you pause, pun intended. Now, don't be too quick to respond. Now, I'm not suggesting a full-blown freeze out, but consider this. In early stage relationships or general interactions, replying in a flash to texts or calls might give off a unintended signal. If you're always Johnny on the spot, it could be perceived as if your day revolves around their messages, and that's not the impression we're aiming for, is it? So take a beat before you respond. If you're in the middle of something, it's perfectly acceptable to reply later. This isn't about playing coy or hard to get, it's about honouring your time and refraining from rushed responses. Remember, time is the rhythm of respect, both for others and yourself. The symphony of balance. Have you ever taken a moment to consider the symphony of your life? Is it balanced with the right mix of hobbies, work, relationships, self-care and downtime? The magic in maintaining balance lies in its power to naturally reduce availability. You are too busy savouring the varied flavours of your life. Plus, balance is the key to mental health and overall well-being. So take a step back and assess. Are you spending too much time in one area and neglecting others? What could be adjusted to achieve a more harmonious life? Reflect and fine-tune. Remember, life is a melody and it's up to you to ensure it stays in tune. The colours of your social rainbow. Sliding into tip number 9, let's diversify. Being too available often happens when your focus narrows down to a single person. But who wants monochrome when you can have a rainbow? Enrich your life by spending time with friends, family, co-workers, and even sparking new connections. This not only broadens your perspective and experiences, but also reduces the risk of being overly available to one person. As they say, variety is the spice of life, and a vibrant social circle makes you a storyteller, adding colour and interest to your interactions. So go ahead, paint your social life with every colour in the palette. The excitement of unpredictability. On to tip number 10, dare to be unpredictable. If you are constantly accessible, prompt to respond, and ever ready with a yes, it might turn into a monotonous rhythm. Now, unpredictability doesn't equate to unreliability or inconsistency. It's about adding an element of surprise. Respond swiftly one day, take your time the next, hang out this weekend, head off on an adventure the next. A sprinkle of mystery can pique interest, keeping people intrigued and adding that needed zest for life. Remember, life doesn't always have to follow a strict schedule, and sometimes the detours make the best stories. The dance of initiation. And for tip number 11, let's talk about initiation. If you find yourself always leading the dance, initiating conversations or plans, it might be time to let your partner take the lead. Relationships like dances are a two-way street, requiring effort from both sides. If you're always the initiator, it might signal over-availability. Try a new approach, let them initiate. You might be pleasantly surprised at the frequency of their moves once given the chance. Remember, in the dance of life, it's just as important to follow as it is to lead. The power of your voice. Tip 12 is all about championing your own opinions. Have you ever caught yourself just nodding along to keep the peace even when you disagree? It's a trap we often fall into, especially when we're interested in someone. But did you know that having and expressing your own opinions actually cultivates respect and individuality? Being unafraid to voice your thoughts demonstrates that you are not just a mirror reflecting back others' ideas. And believe me, a bit of healthy disagreement can spark those deep, intriguing conversations that truly lets you connect. So flex your voice and let your opinions fly. The art of solitude. Moving on to lucky number 13, let's talk about relishing in your own company. Counterintuitive as it may seem, those quiet moments of solitude can make you less available and, here's the catch, more attractive. How's that, you ask? When you're comfortable being alone, you show that your happiness isn't tied to someone else. You are free to reflect, delve into your passions, and rejuvenate on your own terms. Experts affirm that self-comfort is an attractive quality that speaks volumes about your self-assuredness. So let's pencil in some blissful me time. Trust me, once you master the art of solitude, it's a real game changer. The ode to self-care. Let's practice the melody of self-care. This tune harmonizes perfectly with prioritizing your own needs. You see, self-care isn't a luxury. It's about nurturing your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Plus, regularly dedicating time to yourself naturally makes you less available. From that invigorating workout to tranquil meditation or even a simple culinary treat, ensure you're looking after yourself. Remember, you can't fill others' cups if yours is empty, so it's time to refill yours first. The anthem of self-worth. And finally, we reach the crescendo with tip 15. Sing the anthem of your own worth. This is the cornerstone, the foundation upon which all these tips stand. You need to believe that you are deserving of respect, time, effort, and love. When you are steadfast in your worth, you won't tolerate being treated as an afterthought or taken for granted. Take a moment and reflect on your worth. Acknowledge the fantastic qualities that makes you unique. The stronger your self-belief, the less likely you will be to being too available. Always remember, you are not just settling for the best, you are the best. So don't accept anything less. And with that, we've reached the end of the video. Next up, would you like to know how to spot the subtle signs a woman likes you? Well, click the video below to get started.